Right, I should be live, Sandra, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this.
You're live.
Should be. This one.
Can he find you?
Should be. Yeah, live. Alan's found me. Good evening, Alan. I'm just going to write this disclaimer, Alan, see if it'll stop the...
What, on YouTube or
No, on
Facebook?
Facebook. I should be live on YouTube too.
Nope. Yeah, live now.
Good evening, Will and Megan. There we go. So, how are we all doing? I'll just put my disclaimer in, hopefully. That will stop them stopping at my... hopefully that'll stop them at sorting the broadcast out in a bit. So, how's Alan and how's Will? Are we all doing well?
Ladies watching.
Edie's there, Edie's there. Hello, Edie. Are we all good? Can we all hear me? I'm sure if you couldn't hear me, you would tell me. So, welcome to the quiz, boys and girls. This is the 49th quiz that we're doing. You just had a week off, Alan. Bloody hell, we've had about...
Well, I hope you got over it. You take some medicine for it.
I'm not due back to work till May, I think. Yet to be decided, but I suspect it's going to be May. We shall see. What do you do with your week off then? And how's Claire? We are live with YouTube as well. Just to let you know. I got the quiz subjects done good and early this week.
You just got a thing come up on your YouTube.
Well, oh yes, it's you. It says
Right.
hello.
Yeah.
Yep. Spelt it wrong, but you got it up there.
No, but hello, Cliffy.
Yes, hello. H-E-L-O-W.
Yeah.
You-
Hello.
Oh, sorry to hear about that, Alan. Sorry to hear about that.
What's that?
His youngest sister passed away last Monday.
Oh, never.
Oh. Good evening, Sharon. The Dawsons are in the house. And Graham's in the house too. Good evening, Graham. And Will, how's Meg doing? I'm sure she's there. I'm assuming she's there with you. So the quiz this week is 72 questions. I know I put all the under this week's trailer. You had too many subjects on, so I've taken one off because you had 77 questions on this week. So I've taken one off. Can't remember which one I took off, but I took one off and I'll use it for next week's quiz. So there we go. Binge watched some telly this week. Binge watched. At the moment I'm watching Paradise PD. It's a cartoon for grown-ups. I don't know why I'm watching it. Previous to that I binge watched 3 series of Strangler Things. Very disappointing. Looking forward to some Throttling Bay shenanigans, and there's nobody got strangled in it at all. It's about this monster running around eating people and kids, teenage kids running around with little shorts on, which is a bit of a worry. There you go. Sandra's in the background there. You can just about see her in the corner. There she is waiting.
Woohoo!
If you're on YouTube, you can't see Sandra because she's on the wrong camera.
No.
You guys are on this camera down here. My Facebook are on this camera up here. Well, all the best to you and the rest of your family, Alan. And sorry to hear that news.
Yeah. How old was she?
I don't know. How old was she, Alan?
Should be no but a spring chicken.
And how?
38.
38.
Oh.
Hey dear. And good evening, Graham and
Amy.
Amy. Are you both well? Is it just you that's doing it this week, or have you got mothers-in-law and mothers with you, or whatever? The Dawsons will be out here as well. I'm sure the Taylors are with them. Are the Taylors with you? Steve, are you there? And Kelly? And James, of course. Not forgetting
Philippe
James.
on yet?
Do what?
Philippe? Is
Well,
Philippe on yet?
No, not yet. Right, the bar's in the house.
No Brian and Karen
At the house,
yet.
at the bar, in the garden as well. Getting drunk in the garden.
Oh dear.
I'd like to pass this cold on to some bugger else. Somebody we don't
I've
know.
had my first pokey.
Good, I'm glad to hear that, Graham and Amy. And the full gang's here.
What
Excellent.
the hell?
Excellent, full gang's here. So, we both had our first jab. Our first cocaine, sorry, vaccination jab. Sunday roast. Did you cook the roast, Bill? Or did you let Meg cook it? Okay, so let's go through this week's quiz subjects. I've got the things written down.
Did you get
Oh, I see what you did there, Rob. Little boat joke that started. Okay, so the subjects this week, I'm not going to do questions yet, the subjects this week are science and nature. You're nuts, my lord. Sport. Film posters. Trains, planes and automobiles. Music. And that takes us up to half time. Then we've got TV.
Janice is in the house.
We are detective. Oh, Janice is in. Good to have you here, Janice. Well done. Steve and Janice. We are receiving you loud and clear. You are here in the house. So, first set of questions after the break are TV. Then we have We Are Detective. I'll go through the rules in a minute for Steve and Janice, sorry. And then we've got What a Day. Then we've got Who Am I? The Last Word we have. And then Last Orders, Please. Higher or lower. Actually, no, we haven't got all those because one of the subjects one of them is not in. And I think it is that one. That subject, I believe I've taken out because, like I said a few minutes ago, we did have too many questions. I'm not sure. No, take them off, I think, and then we'll see what I've got on my autocue. So, just for the benefit of Steve and Jenny, or mainly for the benefit of Steve and Jenny, this is how it works. I'm going to ask you questions. You get yourself a pen and paper, and on the pen and paper, you write down your answers. At half time, I will give you the proper answers, the answers that you should have. You will no doubt have arguments about these. Everybody does. Don't worry about it. I can take the stick. If I can't take the stick, I'll just blame Sandra. It's fine. So you write down your scores into the comments at half time once you've added up all your scores. No prizes, no point in Googling, there's no point in doing it. And then we repeat that whole thing for the second half. So in short, write your answers on a piece of paper. Don't write your answers in the comments, but feel free to abuse me and anybody else you feel like abusing, it's fine. And at half time, you write your scores down. And then at full time, you write your full time scores down, and I'll tell you who's won and who has sadly come bottom of the slag heap. So if everybody can hear me, and if everybody's raring to go, we shall make a start. Can you hear me? You sure you can hear me, Janice and Steve? I will go through. I will ask for if anybody wants to repeat after every subject of 5 questions, apart from the picture quiz, on one on each half, which I will just repeat them straight away. So here we go. This is question 1. Your first subject is science and nature.
She can hear you. Okay.
Excellente. So. Science and nature. Question number 1. In which modern day country was the physicist and chemist Marie Curie born? In which modern day country was the physicist and the chemist, both the same person, Marie Curie born? Could be Marie Curie, but I don't think so. It is Marie Curie. In which modern day country was she born? We start off with an easy one, you see. Question number 2, 3 points up for grabs, yeah? 3 points. 3 points. 1 point for each of these. The MMR vaccine, I just had the vaccine, protects against which 3 diseases? So the MMR vaccine protects against which 3 diseases? Sandra's just started saying it.
I
so
know it. I've not said it all.
yes, I know, and I heard you saying it. These are quite good microphones we have here, Sandra, just to let you know. I'll tell you what, I'll be glad when the hairdressers open. When is it? The 12th of April they're opening. Get something done with this. So the MMR vaccine protects against which 3 diseases? 1 point for each. And question number 3.
You will.
What is a scale for wind speed called? There is a scale which measures wind speed. What's it called? What's a scale for wind speed to measure wind speed called? Wind force. That is natural wind, not bodily wind, just to let you know. And question number 4. Where in the human body would you find the deltoid? I very nearly put my arm on it then. Put my hand on it. Where in a human body would you find the deltoid? D-E-L-T-O-I-D, the deltoid. And the last one of this section on science and nature. The Colorado beetle is a major pest of which type of crop? Colorado beetle, as in the state of Colorado, C-O-L-O-R-A-D-O. The Colorado beetle is a major pest of which type of crop? Any repeats on those 5 questions? Good evening to you on YouTube, if there's anybody here, which there isn't. Don't be afraid, by the way, when we finish this quiz to like it and share it, or like it and whatever you do on YouTube, I don't know. I'm not a big YouTube user. I've started using it recently to put my videos of, how do we say it? No, it's all clean, it's all good stuff. Poems and songs and things like that. So. No repeats on those 5. Okie dokie. Your next subject is your nuts, my lord. Which, as we all know, is a catchphrase or caption from the Two Ronnies sketch. Your nuts, my lord. So, but these are all questions about various types of nuts. Question number 6. Which of the following is not true about Brazil nuts? So which of the following, I'm going to give you 3 statements, is not true? 2 of them are, 1 of them aren't. Okay, so the nuts, Brazil nuts, are not nuts. They're seeds. They only grow in Brazil. And the nut allergy is sexually transmittable. Only one of those is not true. Which one is it? They're not nuts, they're seeds. They only grow in Brazil. Or the nut allergy is sexually transmittable. So which of those is not true about Brazil nuts? And number 7, who played the Nutty Professor in the 1996 film The Nutty Professor? Who played the Nutty Professor in the 1996 film The Nutty Professor? Who was that? Oh no. Press the wrong button then. But it doesn't matter, because we've still got question number 8 on screen. So question number 8 on nuts. The shell of this nut is beige, but it's sometimes dyed red or green to meet customer expectations. Which nut is it? So the shell of this nut is beige, but it is sometimes dyed red or green to meet customer expectations. Which nut is that? And question number 9. Which nut is used in the very popular, not for me, in chocolate bar, Cadbury's Whole Nut? So which nut is used in Cadbury's Whole Nut chocolate bar? Which nut is it? I can sing the song. If it's the right song for the right chocolate bar, I don't know. I think it is. And question number 10. What type of nut roasted on an open fire is traditionally served hot in the winter time? What type of nut is roasted on an open fire and is traditionally served hot in the winter time? Which kind of nut is that? Any repeats on those 5? Your next subject is my always favourite sport. Give you a second minute. No repeats. We don't know just yet. Because sometimes you can be a little bit slow on the uptake. If you don't mind me saying. No repeats. Okie dokie. Moving on to sport. Question number 11. Peter Shilton is England's most capped player with 125 caps. His first professional appearance was with Leicester City in 1966. In what year was his final game? Okay, so Peter Shilton is England's most capped player. He's got 125 caps. His first professional appearance was in 1966. But what year was his final game? Peter Shilton. He was a goalkeeper apparently. I believe he took over from Gordon Banks in the England team. I could be wrong, going back a while. Gordon Banks was in a car crash and he blinded in one eye and he carried on playing, which was strange. I think for a goalkeeper you have to have good vision, both sides of him. There you go. Anyway, question number 12. Who is Great Britain's most decorated Olympian? Who is Britain's most decorated Olympian? Is it Bradley Wiggins? Is it Mo Farah? Or is it Eddie the Eagle Edwards? Britain's most decorated Olympian is one of them, Bradley Wiggins from the Chase. Mo Farah or Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Bradley Wiggins wasn't from the Chase, just to let you know. And just to show you my level of sporting knowledge, here's a question about someone who I've never heard of. So surprises there. Who is Wales' most capped rugby player? For some reason I've got that written down twice, but you only have the question once. Who is Wales' Who is Wales apostrophe S? No S. Who is Wales apostrophe? Most capped rugby player. I've never heard of him. Again, that doesn't mean anything. And question number 14. The Grand National held at Aintree is raced over how many fences in total? How many times does the horses, assuming they don't fall over and get shot, how many fences do they jump or run through? Or trip up over? And number 15, your last one on sport. Who is England's leading run scorer in Test cricket?
Who's England?
England. Who is England's leading run scorer? You try saying that when you're sober. In Test cricket.
Did you get yourself a drink before you?
No, I'm going to need one. So who is England's leading run scorer in Test cricket? The main question should be, when are they going to stop testing it and play it for proper? Any repeats on those 5? Oh, yeah, next 5 are next 10, I believe, are on film posters. So it's a picture quiz for you next. This is when it could go all tits up. Perhaps not with this one, or is it with two? No, that's the next one. Is copyright music. This one should be okay, but I've got some copyright music on the next one. But once again, if Sony or Warner Brothers claim responsibility and take the video away, I'll stop it and then we'll restart again afterwards. But I put a disclaimer on already, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they shouldn't. Okay, so no repeats on then. So let's do this. Movie posters. Oh, basically I'm going to show you a poster. You tell me what the film is. Simple as that. Momentito. Let's start that again. And there we go. I'll do it on here as well because I'm kind. I shall do the same on here. we go. So that's them done twice. So just write down the name of the film is all I wanted. Your next subject is trains, planes, and automobiles. Sandra, could do another drink, please, if you're going to make me one. Yeah,
Sorry?
I could do another drink, please, if you're going to make me one.
If I'm going to make
Yes,
one.
if you're not,
Well, I'll have to do one.
if you're not going to, I won't. Okay, so planes, trains, and automobiles. Question number 26.
You should have thought about this shit before you got in there.
Language, Timothy. What nickname was given to the Shinkansen high-speed trains of Japan because of their appearance and speed? What nickname was given to the Shinkansen, that's Shinkansen, S-E-N, Shinkansen high-speed trains of Japan because of their appearance and speed? And question number 27. The UK's longest direct rail service runs between which two locations? Is it London and Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Penzance, or Land's End and John O'Groats? So the UK's longest direct rail service runs between which of these two sets of locations? London and Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Penzance, or Land's End and John O'Groats? Which of those three pairs of destinations form UK's longest direct rail service? No sugar in, Janice, that's fine. Okay, we can do that. And question number 28. It's 50-50 chance here, true or false. The Model T Ford automobile was reputably available in only one colour. The phrase goes, you can have the Model T in any colour as long as it's black. Now, is that true or is it false? Is that a true statement or a false statement? You can have the Model T in any colour so long as it's black. Is that true or false? And question number 29. Which nickname was given to the Red Barons? Oh my goodness me. I'm just reading, sorry, the delay. What nickname was given to the Red Barons? Jagdashvada. Jagdashvada.
If you pay me a lot of
Or
money,
the
I'll
fighter,
give you a answer.
or the Fighter Squadron. Right. What nickname was given to the Red Barons? Jagdashvada. Was it the Rogue Squadron, the Vulture Squadron, or the Flying Circus? The Red Barons, Jagdashvada. Was it the Rogue Squadron, the Vulture Squadron, or the Flying Circus? And question number 30. In the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Dastardly and Muttley, which featured the despicably disastrous duo attempting to catch the carrier pigeon, Yankee Doodle, and that was to the tune of Tiger Rag. We all know the cartoon, right? Aeroplanes chasing carrier pigeon to the tune of Tiger Rag. Catch a pigeon, do 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 do. See, karaoke starting already. Okay, what I want to know is what was the name of the flight squadron which was led by Dastardly? Dick Dastardly. Was it the Rogue Squadron? Was it the Vulture Squadron? Or was it the Flying Circus? So the squadron of aeroplanes on Dastardly and Muttley attempting to catch the carrier pigeon. What was the name of that cartoon flight squadron? Was it the Rogue Squadron, the Vulture Squadron, or the Flying Circus? That's question number 30. Any repeats on those 5? And coming up to the end of the first half. All behaving very, very well. I'm proud of you. You're all growing up before my very eyes. And this evening I've gone for a ponytail with a black and white ensemble with some charcoal grey trousers. No repeats. Okay, moving on to the final section for section 1 of the first half. So, music. What was the name of the Beatles' first album? The Beatles' first album. Was it The Beatles? Was it Beatles for Sale? Or was it Please Please Me? The Beatles for Sale or Please Please Me? Which of those was the Beatles' first album? Thank you, Sandra. I've got mine, Janice. Good health.
Did Phil turn up tonight?
No, not yet. And question number 32. Which former One Direction member released the songs Watermelon Sugar and Adore You? So which former One Direction member released Watermelon Sugar and Adore You? It's fine. See, I've got somebody to make me tea, Janice, but it doesn't always work. Trust me, it doesn't always work. Normally I just get abuse. Question number 33. In which year did Little Mix win the X Factor? A programme which I have never seen at all ever in my life. So in which year did the Little Mix win the X Factor? And question number 34. Who was the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2020 in the UK? Was it Drake, Goose, or the Eagles? Bear in mind everybody was at home for most of 2020. Now, it could be a wide range of people, but it's not. It's one of those three. Who was the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2020 in the UK? Was it Drake, Goose, or Eagles? And the final one of this half is, who was the first winner of Britain's Got Talent? Who was the first winner of Britain's Got Talent? I know I said this subject was art music, and we've had one about One Direction, and one about Britain's Got Talent, and one about the X Factor. I do apologise. Loosely, it is still music. Jazz hands. So any repeats on those before we go through the answers? I'll give you a second or two. Any questions need repeating? Okie dokie, let's move on with the answers then. Just add your scores up, well, check your answers and then it scores up, and then write your first half scores into the comments and post them. And here we go then. Question number 1. Which modern day country was Marie Curie born? She was born in Poland. The MMR vaccine protects against 1 point for each of these: measles, mumps and rubella. You can have German measles. What is the scale for wind speed called? It's called the Beaufort scale. It's actually spelled Beaufort, the Beaufort scale. So long as you spelled it properly, somewhere near it'll be okay, as long as it doesn't look like the Richter scale or something. Where in the body would you find the deltoid? You would find it here, top of the arm or the shoulder. The Colorado beetle is a major pest of potatoes. You're nuts, my lad. For question number 6, which of the following is not true? The only one of those true, which is not true, is that they only grow in Brazil. They are not nuts, they are seeds. They all grow in a big nut and they rattle about in it. And the algae is the only nut algae which is sexually transmittable. And who played Nutty Professor in the 1996 movie? It was Eddie Murphy. And the beige shell, which is sometimes dyed red or green, is pistachios. And question number 9. Nuts or hazelnuts? Cadbury's make a man, cover them in chocolate. It's Cadbury's whole nut, and it is hazelnut is what I'm looking for. Hazelnut. Question number 10. A type of nut roasted on an open fire. It is, of course, the chestnut. Peter Shilton started his professional career in 1966 with Leicester. He finished with Leyton Orient on the 21st of January, and this is the bit I want, in 1997. 1997. Who is Britain's most decorated Olympian? It is Bradley Wiggins with 8 Olympic medals. Wales' most capped rugby player is somebody called Alan Wynne Jones. He's got 143 caps. He's most capped player in the world, not just in England or Wales or wherever he comes from. So he's actually the most capped player in the world for rugby. The National held at Aintree is run over 30 fences, and that's over 2 laps. 30 fences, 3-0. England's leading run scorer in Test cricket is someone called Alastair Cook. Apparently he scored 12,472 runs at that writing of that. He's 57 half centuries and 33 centuries, apparently. Onto your posters, film posters. The films I wanted in this order were number 16, Deliverance, cracking film. Big Trouble in Little China, The Exorcist. I went to see that when I was 16 in 1974. Or it might have been 15 in 1973. It came out 73, I think. Obviously 15. Anyway, number 19, Good Morning Vietnam. Jaws for number 20. 21, Star Wars will not do. It has to be Return of the Jedi. 22, I've never seen it, but apparently it's good. Schindler's List. 23, I've not seen it, apparently it's good. Trainspotting. 24, I have seen it and it is good. It's Vertigo. And 25, I've no intentions of watching this ever in my life, is When Harry Met Sally. Let's have a look. I've got a comment on here from Janice. Let's see what Janice is saying to me. Question 11, no, you can't have 10 years out of it. What's question 11? What was question 11? No, you can't have 10 years. I want the year. Cheeky monkey. I take you got it wrong, Janice. So trains, planes and automobiles. What name was given to the Shinkansen high-speed trains? They are called the Bullet train. Bullet. UK's longest direct rail service runs between Aberdeen and Penzance. The Model T Ford was available in lots of colours in its early stages. You could have had it in red, green, dark blue, maroon, brown, grey and of course black. So it's false. 29. The Jagdashvada was known as the Flying Circus, run by the Red Baron at the Flying Circus. And in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Dastardly and Muttley led the Vulture Squadron to catch the carrier pigeon known as Yankee Doodle. Question number 31. Hard lines, Janis. Good try though. If you don't ask, you don't get. The Beatles' first album was Please Please Me. 32, former One Direction member who released those two forgettable songs was Harry Styles. In which year did Little Mix win the X Factor? It was 2011, 2011, or if you prefer, 2011. The most streamed artist on Spotify in 2020 was Drake. And 35 was the first winner of Britain's Got Talent was somebody called Paul Potts. Paul Potts. Nothing more to say about Paul Potts, I think, apart from what's he doing now, which supermarkets you're working in now. Anyway, write your scores down into the comments and we'll see who's winning at half time while I drink some of my tea I'm on today. Not that I've not got any booze, I do have booze. I work in a club. But, changing my non-drinking days. I'm going to give it a go, see how it pans out. It makes more sense to not drink at the weekends at the moment anyway. So your next subject after the break, when you've got all your scores in, is television. Oh, very easy so far, isn't it? Full score so far, I would imagine. 31 for the Dollars. Steve Taylor been much help tonight for you? 23 for Will and Meg. Graham's got 28, second place. 29, Alan takes over second place. 27 for Janice and Steve.
They're enjoying it.
Good. At the bar are in discussion about their score at the moment. They'll be busy trying to remove the socks and shoes.
No Trish this week again.
No, apparently it conflicts with come dine with me or come dance with me or something. 29 from At the Bar. 29, which gives them joint second place for At the Bar. Keep it up, lads. Keep it up. Okie dokie, so let's move on to the next subject, which is TV, or if you prefer, television. Question number 36. In the final episode of the long-running TV sitcom, The Last of the Summer Wine, which actor said the final line? The final line was, "Did I lock the door?" Which actor said that? I don't want the character, but the actor. So in the final episode of Last of the Summer Wine, which actor said the final line? And it was, "Did I lock the door?" And question number 37. Which is the world's longest running children's TV show? Which is the longest running children's TV show in the world? And number 38. Which actress is the connection between these three television shows? So one actress has appeared in them all. We have Crossroads, going back a while, Crossroads, Last of the Summer Wine, and Open All Hours. Which actress is a connection between those three? Last of the Summer Wine, Crossroads, and Open All Hours. And question number 39. In Coronation Street, which character was married four times to three women? The women were Valerie Tatlock in 1962, Janet Reid in 1972, and Deirdre Hunt in 1981, and again in 2005. So which Coronation Street actor was married 4 times to 3 women? Who on earth was that? The character, not the actor. And number 40. News to me this. In EastEnders, who shot Phil Mitchell? The character. In EastEnders, who shot Phil Mitchell? Any repeats on those 5 before we go to some picatures? This is where it could get tricky. This is where Sony or Warner Bros. Could claim the video and make us go all to backtrack, but it shouldn't, because I put a disclaimer on at the beginning of the video, I think, and I've also put it on at the beginning of the broadcast, so fingers crossed it shouldn't. Okay, no repeats, so let's do it on here first. Put on there. There we go. Start that again. There we go. Do one here.
Somebody's watching me. Now I'm nervous and I shouldn't be. Somebody's got their eye on me. Perhaps I should invite him up for tea.
We saw him smoking by the newspaper stand. There's something odd about his gloved left hand. Saw him again inside the old cafe. He makes us tense, we wish he'd go away.
We are detected. We are select. We are detected. Come to collect. Somebody's after me. He left his footprints by the garden tree. Last night when I got home, I got the feeling I was not alone.
Someone is on our tail. We think they're opening up our morning mail. And now each time the telephone rings, we think of frightening things.
Up in disguise to get away from all those prying eyes. Our friends all think we're mad, but we know better 'cause the spy is bad.
I'll play them all again for you.
Somebody's watching me. Now I'm nervous and I shouldn't be. Somebody's got their eye on me. Perhaps I should invite him up for tea.
We saw him smoking by the newspaper stand. There's something odd about his gloved left hand. Saw him again inside the old cafe. He makes us tense, we wish he'd go away.
We are detected. We are select. footprints by the garden tree. Last night when I got home, I got the feeling I was not alone.
Someone is on our tail. We think they're opening up our morning mail. And now each time the telephone rings, we think of frightening things.
Dress up in disguise to get away from all those prying eyes. Our friends all think we're mad, but we know better 'cause the spy is bad.
And there we go. So, question number 36 for Janice and Steve is: in the final episode of the long-running TV sitcom Last of the Summer Wine, which actor said the final line, which was, "Did I lock the door?" That was number 36 for Janice and Steve. Newbies to the quiz. So moving on to question number 53. In Britain, which flower do many people wear on Remembrance Day? In Britain, which flower do many people wear on Remembrance Day? Because you had 12 other pictures a minute ago, that's why it's 53. So question number 54. On which date of the year is St. George's Day? On which date of the year is St. George's Day? And number 55. On what date of the year is St. David's Day celebrated? On what date of the year is St. David's Day celebrated? And number 56. Which Scotsman, woohoo, is celebrated on January the 25th? Which Scotsman is celebrated on January the 25th? And the last one on this subject is: on what date of the year does the USA celebrate its National Day? On what date of the year does America celebrate its National Day? Any repeats on those 5? The next subject is the last word. There we go. We've missed out on the Who Am I section because that is going to be left until next week. Because you had too many in this week. So the last word is question number 58. They're all to do with the last words and things that happened last. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn was not the last line from Gone with the Wind. It was something else, which I'm not going to tell you because it may come up in another quiz next week possibly. But frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn was not the last line from Gone with the Wind. But what did Scarlett O'Hara say to get that response. So what did Scarlett O'Hara say to Red Butler to receive the response, frankly my dear, I don't give a damn? Was it, where shall I go? Was it, what shall I do? Or was it, somebody just farted? So frankly my dear, I don't give a damn was in response to Scarlett O'Hara's question, where shall I go? What shall I do? Or somebody just farted. Question number 59. Whose last words were? I'll start that again. Whose last words were, when he went to the toilet, his girlfriend Ginger Alden said to him, don't fall asleep in there. His reply and his last words were, okay, I won't. And he was found dead on the floor a short time later. Okay, so whose last words were? It's when he went to the toilet, his girlfriend Ginger Alden said to him, don't fall asleep in there. And his reply and his last words were, okay, I won't. And he was found dead on the floor a short time later. Who was that? And question number 60. This musician was leaving his apartment and I was asked to sign an LP, which he did. When he returned home later, the same person shot him 4 times in the back. His final words were, I'm shot, I'm shot. So this musician was leaving his apartment and was asked to sign an LP, which he did. When he returned home later, the same person shot him 4 times in the back. And his final words were, I'm shot, I'm shot. He may have said it with more passion than that because he was probably in pain at the time. But who was it? And question number 61. The last line of which book and film is, we're home, home, and this is my room, and you're all here, and I'm not going to leave you ever, ever again because I love you all. Last line, there's another little bit after that, but the last line of that book, there's another bit to the line which I'm not going to give you. It is, we're home, home, and this is my room, and you're all here, and I'm not going to leave here ever, ever again because I love you all. What is that book? That was an Oscar-winning performance, but I'll have to add. And 62. The last line of which book was this? The scar had not pained Harry for 19 years. All was well. That was the final line of which book? The scar had not pained Harry for 19 years and all was well. What was the final line in which book? Any repeats on those 5? 1 or 2 of them were a little bit long-winded, so with maybe. Sandra just burped.
I didn't mean to. It fell out.
Ever the lady.
I am sorry.
And no repeats on those. Oh, okay,
Somebody has to be a lady.
let's move on. Your next subject is, that was last words. This is last orders, please. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give you a list of people, things, events, whatever. Right, now what I want you to do is answer the question for each one. So this list, which is 4 inventions, I want you to put them in order, starting with the earliest. Okay, so I'm going to give you 4 inventions. You write them down in order, and you get 1 point for each one you've got in the right place. Okay, so the inventions are, and this is not the right order, you put them into the right order: the diesel engine, the hovercraft, battery, and jeans. Okay, so those 4 inventions, put them into order of the invention by date. Diesel engine, hovercraft, battery, and jeans. repeat number 62. Find 62. 62 was the Scar. This is for Janice and Steve. The Scar had not paid Harry for 19 years. All was well. That was a final line from which book? That was number 62. And question number 64. I'm going to give you 4 European cities, and I want you to put them in the order, 1 point for each, of the most northerly. Right, so the most northerly, starting with the most northerly and working down from there, is Stockholm, Aberdeen, Newcastle upon Tyne, and Copenhagen or Copenhagen. Okay, so you've got, you put them in order from the most northerly down: Aberdeen, Newcastle upon Tyne, Copenhagen, and Stockholm. And question number 65. List this following in of 4 lengths in order, starting with the smallest, and again you get 1 point for each one in the right place. So these 4 lengths in order, starting with the smallest. You've got a yard, 1 yard, 10 inches, 25 centimeters, and 1000 millimeters. Okay, so starting with the smallest, list them in order going upwards. 1 point for each in the right order, the right place. And 66, I'm going to give you 4 ships. I want you to give list them in the order starting of the order of their launch, starting with the earliest. Okay, so 4 ships. You write them down in launch order from the date they were launched, starting with the earliest and working up. So you've got the Discovery, the Cutty Sark, the SS Great Britain, and the Mayflower. Okay, so you've got James Cook's Discovery, you've got a clipper ship, the Cutty Sark, Brunel's the SS Great Britain, and the one the Pilgrims were on is the Mayflower. So from launch date, from the earliest upwards. Again, you get 1 point for each in the right place. And question number 67. List these following birds in order, starting with the smallest, working up to the biggest. So you've got cuckoo, house martin, blackbird, and starling. So starting with the smallest, you get 1 point for each one in the right place. It's cuckoo, house martin, blackbird, and starling. There you go. So you tell me if you want any of those 5 repeating before we move on to the final 5. $66 again for Steve. 66 for Steve is these 4 ships in order of their launch, starting with the earliest. Okay, so you've got Discovery, the Cutty Sark, the SS Great Britain, and the Mayflower. So start with the launch date, starting with the earliest. You've got Discovery, the Cutty Sark, the SS Great Britain, and the Mayflower. Any more repeats on those 5? Your next subject is something new for you to play about with. And the last one was something new as well. I do like to shake it up and keep you on your toes. So your next subject is higher or lower. Simple as that. You tell me whether it's higher or lower. So I'm going to give you a fact and a percentage. Right? The fact is a fact, or it's a question, and the percentage I'm going to give you is what Sandra thought it was. Bear in mind, you all know Sandra doesn't see any of this that I'm writing until, well, she'll see it and look at it. But I've asked her these questions, and this is the answer that Sandra has given me, right? So it will become clear as we're going through. So question number 68. What percentage of tea is taken in the UK without milk? Okay, so what percentage of tea is taken in the UK with milk? With milk. Now I asked Sandra that question and she suggested it was 75%, but she doesn't know. Okay, now do you think it's higher or lower than 75%? So what percentage of tea is taken with milk in the UK? Sandra thinks it's 75%. What do you think? Is it higher or lower? Okay, so what percentage of people for number 69, what percentage of people in the UK are vegan? Now Sandra on her second, because she thought it was vegetarian, so she gave me that answer. So when I explained to her it's vegan, not vegetarian. So what percentage of people in the UK are vegan? Sandra suggested it was 3%. Okay, do you think it's higher or lower than that? Sandra thinks the percentage of people in the UK who are vegan is 3%. Do you think it's higher or lower? And question number 70. It's still another 2 after this because we had the 12 on the picture quiz earlier on. Okay, so what percentage for number 70? What percentage of the UK consider themselves to be naturists? That's not people who go out looking at trees and bushes and things. Naturists is when you get your clothes off and sit with your towel out on the beach, or you go skinny dipping, or sunbathe in your garden. Nudists and that kind of thing. So what percentage of the UK consider themselves to be naturists? Sandra suggested it was 35%. Do you think it's higher or lower? And question number 71. As of 2020, what percentage of people in the UK do not own a television set? So what percentage of the people in the UK as of 2020 do not own a television set? Sandra suggested that she thought it was 10%. Do you think it's higher or lower than 10%? People in the UK who do not own a television set. And the last one of the evening, question number 72. What percentage of men between the ages of 35 to 44 Do not drink alcohol. Sandra suggests it's 5%. So what percentage of men between the ages of 35 to 44 do not drink alcohol? Sandra suggests that she thinks it's 5%. Do you think it's higher or lower? So does anybody want any of those 5 repeating before we go to the answers? We seem to be okay for that. Give you a second more on there, and no, are we okay? Okay, so let's move on with the answers. It's 20 to 10 already. Here we go then. Question number 36. In the final episode of the Last of the Summer Wine, the last line, "Did I lock the door?" was said by Peter Sallis. Cleggy. Peter Sallis. World's longest running TV show in the world is Blue. Children's TV show is Blue Peter. That's right. It was the beginning of 2020, so COVID wasn't really an issue then, Rob. So ignore COVID. It was the beginning of 2020 when this survey was done. So ignore COVID. That's for the last section, the last question, the alcohol one. Okay, so the answer to question number 38. The actress connection between Last of the Summer Wine, Open All Hours and Crossroads is Kathy Staff. The Coronation Street actor of 39 who was married to all those women was Ken Barlow. And Phil Mitchell in EastEnders was apparently shot by Lisa Shaw. Lisa Shaw. On to We Are Detective. You'll find out. You'll find out soon enough, Rob. So, question number 41 was Father Brown. Question number 42, as it said on the screen, you wanted both of them. It was Inspector Clouseau and Dreyfus, Dreyfus. 43 was Columbo. 44 was Jessica Fletcher. 45, again, it said on the screen, you wanted them both. 1 point for each, Holmes and Watson. 46 was Magnum, Thomas Magnum, but Magnum will do. 47, Miss Marple. 48 was Monk. 49, 1 point for each, Randall and Hopkirk. Number 50, Jim Rockford. 51 was Sam Spade. And 52 was Lord Peter Wimsey. Question number 53. A lot of people in Britain on Remembrance Day wear the poppy. St George's Day is on April the 23rd. St David's Day is celebrated on March the 1st. And the Scotsman who is celebrated on January the 25th. If you put St Andrew, you're wrong. It is Robbie Burns. Incidentally, he was never really called Robbie Burns. He was called Rob or Robert. In his lifetime, he was never called Robbie, apparently. So I'm led to believe. 57. On what date does the USA celebrate its National Day? It's the 4th of July. Or, if you prefer, July the 4th. The last word, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, was in response to Scarlett O'Hara saying, What shall I do now? No, where shall I go? Where shall I go now? Where shall I go now? 59. Whose last words were after he went to the toilet telling Ginger Alden he's going to read and do something unspeakable in there and then died? It was, of course, Elvis Presley. The musician who was leaving his apartment and asked to sign an LP, who was shot by Chapman, Mark Chapman, I believe. He said, I'm shot. It was John Lennon. The last line of the book is, we're home, home, and this is my room, and you're all here, and I'm not going to leave here ever again, because I love you all. And the bits I didn't put in was, and oh, Auntie M, there's no place like home. It was the Wizard of Oz, of course. And number 62, the scar had not pained Harry for 19 years. All was well. The book was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Last orders, please. Lots of points up here for grabs. Lots and lots of points. In order, these inventions, diesel engine, hovercraft, battery and jeans, they were: Alessandro Volta invented the battery, the earliest, that was in 1799. Levi Strauss jeans is next, that was in 1850. Rudolf Diesel invented the diesel engine next, in 1892, and Christopher Cockerell invented the hovercraft in 1955. So it's battery, jeans, diesel engine and hovercraft. Cities, you have in order from the most northerly down: Stockholm, Aberdeen, Copenhagen or Copenhagen, and Newcastle upon Tyne. And the four lengths in order, starting with the smallest, are 25 centimetres, 10 inches, 1 yard and 1,000 millimetres or a metre. 66. The ships in order of sailing were in 1609-ish the Mayflower, 1774 the Discovery. Discovery? Isn't it Discovery? Yes, I did it. The 1843 the SS Great Britain, and 1869 the Cutty Sark. So you've got Mayflower, Discovery, SS Great Britain and the Cutty Sark. The birds in order, starting with the smallest, are the House Martin, 12.5 centimetres, the Starling, 21 centimetres, Blackbird, 25 centimetres, and the Cuckoo is 33 centimetres. So you've got House Martin, Starling, Blackbird and Cuckoo. And your next subject, higher or lower. They were all 1 point for each answer in the correct place, by the way. So what percentage of tea is taken with milk in the UK? Sandra said it was 75% as she thought. It's actually higher, it's 96%. What percentage of the people in the UK are vegan? Sandra suggested it was 3%, and it's lower, it's 1%. You can tell them they're the face-to-face ones. Can't be asked getting out of bed. What percentage of the UK consider themselves to be naturists? Sandra suggested it was 35%. Good guess in the first place, and it's higher, it's 40%. And what percentage of people in the UK do not own a television? Sandra thought it was 10%. Again, a good guess. It is actually 6%. And to alleviate Rob's issues as to whether he has a problem or not, what percentage of men between the ages of 35 to 44 do not drink alcohol? Sandra suggested it was 5%. It is higher, it is 18% do not drink alcohol between the ages of 35 to 44. Hang your heads in shame, gentlemen. Okay, there you go. Write your scores down into the comments and I'll tell you who is top of the heap and to who is bottom of the pile. So just waiting for the scores coming in. And don't forget, if you so far they haven't claimed responsibility for my video, so hopefully that may have worked. That I think 75 for Alan, who jumps straight into the lead with a big 75. 54 overall for Will, so Will is in second place. Will and Meg. Yeah, don't forget, if like it and share the quiz if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, then don't. So Will's in second. Will was in second. Alan's in first with 75. Dollars have moved into. No, they've just been ousted from second place by Janice and Steve, who have got 73. Third place so far, Sharon and the Dollars with 69. Graham and Amy got 63. Will is lagging at the bottom of the pile with 54. And we're just waiting for at the bar, and then that's all the scores in, I believe. $62 from at the bar. So let's have a look at the scores in total. We have Alan Dykes with 75. Janice and Steve, the newcomers, with 73 in second place. Third place was Sharon and the Dollars. Sharon, Steve, there's 4 of them to be fair. Then in 63 we have Graham and Amy. Then following them in 62 is Rob and at the bar. You were doing so well at the end of the first half, and then it all went wrong. And in last place, we won't mention that. We won't talk about that. It's fine. But thank you very much, boys and girls. Thank you for coming. We've enjoyed it once again. We will do the same thing again next week. Thank you very, very much. We've got lots and lots of shares on the quiz from last week and the week before, actually. So just keep that going. Lots of likes, shares, likes, and views. So keep it going. We'll keep going as long as we need to do, just to keep your spirits up and stop any bad things happening in your life. We don't like bad things. But thank you very much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you next week. I'll finish my other cup of tea, but she won't make me another one. That's for guaranteed.
No.
You're welcome, Rob. I'll see you when we reopen, hopefully soon. You do realise when we do open, I'm going to want a holiday. You're welcome, Graham and Amy. See you next week.
Did Janice and Ubby enjoy it?
I think so. Yes, they did indeed. Thank you very much, Janice and Steve. You take care. I'll see you next week if Steve gets home from work in time. This is much better than watching I'm a Dancer, Get Me Out of Here, or whatever it's called. Whatever's on. Factor.
It's crazy.
So, thank you very much, guys. See you next week. You take care.
Bye, everybody.
And you too on YouTube, which is only Sandra, so you keep going, and see you next week.